Hey everybody, welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on youtube.com/NoDQ&AV and of course NoDQ.com. For those of you watching for the first time, my name is Aaron Rift. I'm the owner of NoDQ.com. I've been doing this thing for a while now. I set up a Formspring account, formspring.me/Aaron Rift, where people could submit their questions about wrestling to me and I would answer them here on video and on text on NoDQ.com. So submit a question if you're interested, but right now I am completely full with questions here in my inbox. A lot going on with WWE, coming off WrestleMania, coming off Raw. I'd like to thank everyone for checking out the recent videos. I apologize that the WrestleMania 28 review was not up to par in terms of video quality. I wanted to get that up right away, and after a night of sleep and after watching Raw, I pretty much stick to my my opinion. I think WrestleMania was a slight thumbs up show, but I didn't think it was one of the greatest WrestleManias, and I didn't think there was any match on the show that would be one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. But still a very good show, and I thought Raw was excellent. I thought Raw was one of the best episodes in a very long time. So over the next several days, I'm going to get to some of the questions here about WrestleMania and Raw. So let's dive right into it. I thought Undertaker looked pretty healthy at WrestleMania, so do you think he will be back next year? As I've mentioned before, I think it depends on what Mark Calaway, the man, wants to do. Is he going to continue playing the Undertaker character? I don't see him wrestling on a full-time basis, but I do see him continuing to compete on perhaps a part-time schedule, maybe a WrestleMania, maybe a little bit more, who knows, but I could see Undertaker going at least another year or two. WrestleMania 29, there's so many opportunities for him. You could do Undertaker versus Cena. You could do Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. You could do Undertaker versus The Rock. To me, it seems like there's still business you can get out of the streak, and I think we'll see at least one or two more appearances by The Undertaker, and maybe he'll call quits at WrestleMania 30. Who knows? But yeah, I think we'll see more of him, definitely. After WrestleMania 28, do you feel that WrestleMania has gone from being an arena show to a stadium show? It's been like that for a while now. I think starting around WrestleMania 17 and WrestleMania 18, by that point, it was beginning to look like WrestleMania would become a full-time stadium show. They did a few more WrestleManias in arenas. They did 21 in LA and 22 in Chicago. But, I mean, the fact is WrestleMania has become this huge extravaganza, and it's something that cities bid for now, and it brings a ton of money to the local economy of whatever city's hosting. So, I mean, WWE is making a killing every year doing WrestleMania in a big stadium, and I don't see them going back anytime soon. I mean, people ask about WrestleMania 30, and my guess is it's probably going to be in a stadium from now on. I know the idea of Madison Square Garden hosting 30, you know, for nostalgic purposes, but I think they're going to keep going in the stadium, and that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future. Aaron, from row 16, Sunday, my opinion, WrestleMania was really electric. Not because of the wrestling. Good show, but it lacked something in the way of matches. HHH versus Taker was the best, followed by Punk versus Jericho, and then Rock versus Cena. Others really don't matter. What do you say? Yeah, I mean, I think the main event matches, for the most part, were very good. Punk and Jericho was a great technical match, but I think, as I mentioned in my review, the crowd really seemed to be burned out. I mean, they put all their emotion into Triple H versus Undertaker, and by the time Punk and Jericho came on, they were tired, and I mean, they were just waiting to save their energy, I think, for Rock versus Cena. So perhaps it would have been better to open WrestleMania with CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, especially what they ended up doing with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, but you know, hindsight's 20/20, and Triple H versus Undertaker, as I mentioned, was a very good match. But as I said in the recap video, I think the Hell in a Cell was really unnecessary. Now I know they did the no holds barred the year before, so I guess they felt they had to up the ante, but they didn't really do much with the Cell. It was more about the story in the ring with Shawn Michaels and what was he gonna do, and that's what the whole match was about. So I mean, the Cell didn't really play much of a role. But still, I thought it was a great match, and the end with the three of them embracing was a really cool moment right there, and that's what people are going to remember. And Rock versus Cena, you know, Rock looked great in there. I mean, it was a very good match, tons of crowd heat as expected, and I don't know if it was as good as Rock versus Hogan, but it was still, you know, one of the bigger WrestleMania matches in history. I don't know if it was the biggest as it was hyped up to be, but it was still really big. But I still think it was maybe a little bit of a disappointment. Like I said, WrestleMania was a very good show overall. And yeah, they could have done more with some of the undercard matches, but it is what it is. Hey Aaron, 2 questions. Number 1, do you think The Rock will take pity on Cena and offer him another match? And number 2, what are the chances that Undertaker will face Cena at WrestleMania 29 as he has not faced him at WrestleMania? Well, regarding the second question, I mentioned that a few minutes ago. I definitely see it as a possibility. If there's money to be made, I think Undertaker will come back and do at least 1 or 2 more matches, and I see that happening. And as far as Rock versus Cena again, I actually think based on what happened on Raw, it really seems like they're going to go in a different direction and not do Rock versus Cena again. Maybe it'll happen sometime down the line, but quite frankly, I think they have a lot of options at this point, and they can do different things with The Rock. You know, The Rock talked about going for the WWE title and the whole thing with John Cena and Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, I mean, maybe WWE's actually going to stick to their word and make that Rock versus Cena match once in a lifetime. We'll see. Hey Aaron, what's up? I wanted to know if you think that this was Undertaker's last WrestleMania since Undertaker, HBK, and HHH were all hugging in the end. I actually got a lot of questions about not just Undertaker, but Michaels and Triple H as well. Is this their last WrestleMania as well? I don't think so. I think in Shawn Michaels' case, this could be the last time he's at WrestleMania, unless he makes a cameo appearance. But as far as Triple H goes, I could see him doing 1 or 2 more matches if the right situation or the right match comes along. I could see that happening. And once again, going back to earlier, I think the likelihood is we will see more of The Undertaker. Hey Aaron, do you think the Best in the World versus the Best in the World match lived up to his hype at WrestleMania? Like I said, I think it was a really good technical match. Both guys worked really hard, but I think the crowd heat really hurt that match. Also, when you go from having JR in Hell in a Cell to having no JR, it's really noticeable. And I think if JR was doing the announcing, he would have been able to tell the story a lot better than Michael Cole did. I mean, the story was that it was a stipulation where if CM Punk got DQ'd, he would lose the title. And I think, you know, during the match, Jericho was trying to get under Punk's skin and get Punk to snap and get himself disqualified. And I think if JR was announcing, he would have been able to tell that story a lot better. But hindsight is 20/20, as I mentioned earlier. But still a great match, and it looks like the feud's continuing. So there you go. Hey Aaron, love the show. I was disappointed with Rock versus Cena, and just wondered, do you think that The Rock refused to lose the match? Absolutely not. I think that The Rock was going to go along with whatever WWE wanted to do. And looking back at it, you know, I do think that Cena looked weak coming out of that match. I mean, he's the superhero for a lot of people. He is an icon in WWE, and people get behind him. And the fact that he got cocky at the end, it did make him look a little bit weak. But I loved Cena's promo on Raw the next night. So looking back at that WrestleMania match, I actually think that was the right finish. And, you know, the people really wanted to see The Rock beat Cena. So I have to say it was the right move, even though going in I wasn't so sure about Rock beating Cena clean. But looking back at it, I do think that it was the right move to have Rock beat Cena. Why would WWE want Brock back after what him and Goldberg did at WrestleMania years ago? They want to make big money. That's all there is to it. I mean, Vince McMahon is not going to hold a grudge over somebody because they left the company on bad terms. Vince, I'm sure he is thrilled to have Brock Lesnar back because you have some big money matches potentially right there. You have Brock versus Cena, Brock versus Rock, Brock versus Orton. There's a lot you can do with Brock over the next year. So Vince sees a lot of money in Brock Lesnar, and I don't blame him on that at all. Let's see. All right, we'll do 1 or 2 more here. Aaron, settle an argument with me and my friend. I say Bischoff already had WCW in a nosedive when Russo got there, and Russo accelerated its death. He says it was all Russo's fault. Your thoughts? It's definitely a combination of both. WCW was free-falling in 1999 before Russo arrived. I mean, Bischoff made one bad decision after another. First, it was the finger poke of doom and bringing back the NWO yet again after it already run its course, and changing the logo, changing the set, and just giving away too much on TV for free, and then bringing in all the musical acts like Mr. P and Kiss. That stuff completely bombed and turned people out, and not pushing new stars. I mean, that was Bischoff's big fault right there. And then when Russo came in, perhaps WCW could have been saved, and maybe something could have been done. But then again, the company was just so poorly mismanaged that it didn't really matter what Russo did. And I think Russo tried to make WCW a more exciting product and something that could compete with WWE again. But the fact is, WCW, when Russo started doing the Crash TV on Nitro, it came off like a second-rate WWE. And that's not what WCW fans wanted to see. So by the time Russo got through with it, obviously everything he did, hurt WCW a lot more. And yeah, it's a combination of everything. I would say it's not one single person's fault. Hey Aaron, who had the better night after WrestleMania debut? Lesnar in 2002, Goldberg in 2003, Umaga in 2006, or Great Khali in 2006? Lesnar had a great debut, but I would have to say Goldberg's debut was really hot at the time. When he came out and interrupted The Rock, I mean, the people were really excited about Goldberg finally coming to WWE. And on that night, they did great with Goldberg. But then I think the next week they did a backstage segment with him and Goldust, where they had Goldust put the wig on Goldberg. And from that point on, they really dropped the ball with Goldberg, in my opinion. So, but in terms of the actual debut and first appearance, I would have to go with Goldberg, just because of the excitement and anticipation of him coming into WWE. All right, that'll wrap things up for today's No DQ&A video. I still have a lot of questions here, a lot more to come. So stay tuned. Tell a friend, go on Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Post a link to No DQ&A video. I really do appreciate all the support. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com. I mean, Sunday we broke the record for the single day traffic. Just a lot of people interested in what's going on with WWE right now. So stay tuned for all that, and we'll see you next time.